So this happened last week. Juan Soto, the young star of the Washington Nationals, was offered a 15-year, $440 million contract. That, if he would have, well, that is the largest contract in MLB history. He was offered that, and he turned it down. First, let me first say this. I know I hear a lot of people killing Juan Soto, talking about, how do you turn down $440 million? I don't know how you turn it down, but I've never seen $440 million. $440 million never been in my face. But Juan Soto turned it down. So what does this mean moving forward? This means a couple things, actually. For Juan Soto, he's betting on himself. He is one of the best young players in all of baseball. We talk about Vladimir for the Blue Jays. We talk about Shohei Ohtani. When we talk about some of the young talent, Fernando Tatis, Juan Soto's name's in there. The difference, and one of the biggest, and probably the main reason why he didn't sign the contract. The difference between those players and Juan Soto is they get a lot more recognition than Juan Soto. And why is that? Because they're on teams that win a lot more, or they're on more famous teams. Because the Angels, you have probably two of the best players in MLB, and they're still trash. But they're still in LA. They're still one of the most popular teams. They're still the Angels. Juan Soto's 23, and when asked, why he turned down the contract, now there was a lot more things that he said, but in conclusion, he pretty much said that he's tired of losing, and he doesn't want to lose. Now, the Nationals that won the World Series back in 2019, that is not the Nationals that we're seeing. I mean, Matt Scherzer's gone, Trey Turner's gone, Rendon is gone, Strasburg, he's going through injury after injury. So the championship team that we had, or that the Nationals had, this is not that team. This is pretty much a full rebuild team. And some players aren't built for rebuild. Some teams don't want players to be on rebuilds. A lot of players don't want to be on rebuilds. Hell, you can look at DeJounte Murray. The Spurs are headed full guns blazing to a rebuild, and they were able to trade DeJounte Murray because he didn't want to be part of the rebuild. They didn't want him to be part of the rebuild. Not saying that he's not good. It's just, But Juan Soto does not want to be part of the rebuild. And he turned down the largest contract in MLB history. And I the more and more you think about it, the more and more I understand. Now, when I say I understand, I understand why he turned it down. It's still, that'll still be a lot for me to turn down. But again, I'd never seen $440 million. But the deal was for 15 years. Not only would that be the largest deal in MLB history, I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe that would be the longest contract in MLB history. You see, when you have a talent like that, when you have young talent, you want them on your team. Juan Soto, again, is one of the best young players in all of baseball. So I understand for the Nationals, this is a good deal for both sides. Both sides sort of win, sort of. And when I say sort of course, if you're the player, you're seeing the largest deal, as at least money wise, in MLB history. Juan Soto would be the highest paid MLB player ever. But I also understand the deal from the National side. I mean, the Nationals, you want to lock up a player like Juan Soto. I mean, hell, you had Bryce Harper. He's not there anymore. So, of course, you want to lock up a player like Juan Soto for the long term, which is 15 years. Now, I believe Juan Soto is 23 years old. By the end of this contract, he will be 38. Now, I've already talked about this before. I don't understand. I understand it, but I think it's tough. These long contracts. Like, you don't, people that sign in 10, 12-year contracts, you don't know what's going to, hell, you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Now, I'm not saying sign day-to-day contracts, but what's so wrong by signing a 5-year contract? What's so wrong by signing a 6-year contract? Like, why do you have to sign a 15, a 12, a 13? I just think that is so risky for both player and the team. Now, again, the money-wise is cool. I understand that, you secure a player, so I get the upside. But there's a downside to it as well. Like, and Lord forbid, I don't wish any injury upon anyone. But what if Juan Soto injures himself and can never play again? Now you're strapped to him for 15 years. And for people that haven't been watching this podcast, or people that don't really know about sports like that, or don't know about baseball like that, all of these are fully guaranteed contracts. So whether he can sign tomorrow, blow out his knee, Lord forbid, I do not wish that upon anybody, blow out his knee, you're still paying this man $440 million. But hey, that's a lot of money. But I understand.